It was surprising because, we ended up with support local businesses and like, does that really inspire? Is that just a message? Like, no, it does inspire because I also see her, she's early mid 30s and she's done all of this. Wow. And it makes you think there are amazing people out in the world doing amazing things and supporting themselves and their families. And like, that's helps me. Okay, well, I got to get back in the kitchen because I got a family to support and I've got dreams and things I got to do. That also keeps me inspired and going.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Pretty Focused Podcast. I am here with Alicia today. Alicia is one of our coaches, and we are talking about a topic I think a lot of creatives wonder about, and that is really how to stay creative, how to stay inspired. And Alicia has been a photographer for how long now, Alicia?
Oh my gosh, 17 years.
17 years.
Yeah.
And so has experienced the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs of the industry. You have worked, for corporate companies. You've worked for yourself. So you've kind of have seen, different faces, I guess, of like what it's like to be a photographer. And so you have probably gone through a lot of those seasons where like, what do I need to do? Like, how do I get out of this funk? And so Alicia has a couple of really great tips for us and just some really practical things, but we're also going to kind of take the conversation a different way that's probably not expected. But we'll get into that later. But Alicia, why don't you start by kind of sharing some of these practical tips that you have for people to kind of stay inspired whenever you're photographing every day?
Mm-hmm. So, excuse me. Of course, my voice does that. So like one of the things I just started, this is sad, I'm almost 40. And just like a year ago, I really started getting back into reading. Like I was never a reader before. And then I know you started recommending books to me. My friends started recommending books and now I'm a reader. So reading has actually helped me a lot. So not only like business books to keep me inspired for my business and not just photography but also just finding cookbooks. Like there's a library near me that has like a tiny used bookstore attached to it. And I found 2 cookbooks there for like $3. It was $1.50 each. And I'm like, awesome. Oh, and then one's on cheesecakes and one's on caramel. And I'm like, this is amazing. I can look at these and I may not make them all.
That's just right up your alley. Cheesecakes and caramel for sure.
Yes. So I got those and I was like flipping through them. I'm like, oh, these are great ideas, even for like savory cheesecakes. So reading's a big part of it. I love learning. I love learning new things. I've been going off and on to our community college for the past 10 years and taking classes and getting degrees. But I took like a food science class because I was like, well, that's right up my alley. That's what I'm doing to learn more about baking. And because primarily, for those of you who don't know me, I do a lot of desserts. I have a dessert blog. I do baking, no baking, just all desserts. I love shooting desserts and making desserts. So that's my thing. So baking is very much a chemistry-based, what do you call it? Recipe? Cooking, baking.
Yeah.
It's chemistry-based. So I really wanted to understand the differences in why a cake is not turning out the way it's supposed to be and learn more about troubleshooting. So that's why I took that food science class. Also, in terms of photography, stepping away from my little studio and food and photographing something else. Like we love to travel. So doing landscapes or trying out things, like there's so many cool things you can do with just your camera. And so trying out different shutter speeds or trying out different apertures, like just playing around with the camera. I know Coach Redonda used to do, and she still does every now and then, like a photo a day challenge.
Yep.
Like that's a great way to stay inspired and to go out and just challenge yourself with different photography techniques.
Yeah. I know. Like I have done certain events and stuff, and I even photograph at church on the weekends, and being in those different lighting environments has helped me significantly. Cause again, like I use all natural light, but being thrown into those scenarios where it's like, you don't know what it's going to be like you don't know what to expect. Like I used to just be very like, I need full control, and I need to like know exactly what to expect. And I would get like so anxious, like going to weddings or whatever, because I just didn't know what the lighting scenario was going to look like. But like being put in those situations where the lighting is just completely different has helped strengthen just my skill. And it has just helped given me confidence. I know that's not necessarily about staying creative, but it just step outside of what you normally do, stretch yourself, and then you just build this confidence. I think that helps fuel the creative side.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one thing I probably miss about shooting weddings is getting to play around, like see what kind of light is happening.
Yeah.
I used to love doing backlight for wedding shots because you have that like angelic halo around the couple. Or I would even take my flash with me and play around with that, like have it external, like have it shoot from behind. And like it definitely helped me stay inspired and stay happy with wedding photography.
Yeah.
It was everything else that I didn't enjoy.
Seriously. I told somebody, I was like, I don't want to go back to weddings because like I just feel like you learn so much the hard way. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
I like learned so much the hard way because there's just certain things that you just can't be prepared for. And I'm like, I'm done with those. Like, I don't want that. Of course, I'm still have those experiences where I'm learning the hard way, but for whatever reason, it's like, I don't want to go back.
Weddings are a one-shot thing.
Yes.
A cheesecake, I can redo.
Yes. I think that's it. It's that like you got one shot and like you don't get a redo.
Yeah.
And
The stress when I would think, oh my gosh, I just missed the first kiss. Like, I don't want that again.
I know.
I don't want that again.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that is, I mean, stepping outside, doing something different, because what we do here at home is like, we have those very controlled environments. Everything is the same. And I think there's something though, and we just talked about this earlier before we hit record, that there is something about like the repetition, right? And like, it might seem a little mundane, but that's what builds like efficiency. And so I don't think it should be like, oh, I'm so bored, or, just completely write it off, or like, I hate, like, I think being okay with the repetition, like, be okay with it. Like, it's not a bad thing. And it's what helps you to become more efficient, so you can get through the shooting faster and then go spend more, time doing other things other than just photography. But if you are photographing all day long, stop it. Like, you are overshooting. Like, you need to make sure that you are efficient with your time so you can move on. Because if you allow yourself to take all day, 100%, you will burn out. And then you'll be like, why do I not feel creative?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are days I carve out where I'm like, I'm not touching my camera today. Like, I just have to take a break. And I mean, it's gotten to points where I don't, like, I love photography, like any type of photography I love. But there's times where I'm so burnt out. I'm like, I'm leaving my camera at home. If we're going traveling somewhere, I'm like, I mean, not like a big trip, but like something small. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not taking my camera. Like, I just can't today. So I think even stepping away from the camera, and we talked about this a little bit, doing something else with your time also helps you stay inspired. Like I was just telling you about my little garden I have, garden, potted plants, I guess I have on my balcony. I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't get the luxury of a garden.
Hey, we're calling it a garden. That's fine.
There you go. But I have those to look forward to every day, like open my blinds and like, oh, there are my plants. How are they doing? Walk outside, get the fresh air. So it's like, do they talk about in Atomic Habits, like where layering? So not only am I just checking my plants, I'm getting fresh air and vitamin D from the sunshine. So I think even those little things, or doing a puzzle, helps just clear your mind and like helps you relax, and then makes you want to pick up your camera again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think too, even, you talked about, so you can do distance at home and just put your camera down. You can go out to your balcony, or, go outside, go on a walk. Sometimes I got to do me a lap around the block because I have to take the time, but traveling and stuff helps too. I know not everybody can just, take off and travel, but there's something about that distance and perspective that kind of, is really healthy, I think too.
Mm-hmm. Even for just going for a drive.
Yeah.
Like not going anywhere. You don't go to the grocery store because that's just work.
Right. That doesn't count.
My husband and I right now are sharing our car. And most days, because he works out of the home, he takes the car. And I miss leaving the apartment so much.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he's very much a homebody. And he's like, what do you mean you need to leave the apartment today? I'm like, I just need to go. Like, go prop shopping, or I
just need to go to Target. Okay.
Yeah. Like, let me just get a Starbucks and walk around Target. That's anything. Like, don't even have to spend money. Just leave the apartment.
Yeah. Just get out. Let yourself get out. So, okay. So we have some just keeping distance, doing another activity that's not photography related. Like you do read, you are a reader now. Congratulations.
I know. I can read now.
You love reading, and you also do some other creative things at home that are not photography related. What do you do?
Let's see, at home. Well, I crochet. I crochet. Oh yeah, my little diamond art. I have this huge, it's like a 23 by 30 something. I don't know. This huge diamond art that I got for Christmas that I'm still working on.
Oh my gosh.
But I have a small one hanging right here above my computer. It's like a Van Gogh, because Van Gogh is my favorite. So I love doing those. I crochet. I like experimenting with baking still. Like you baking on cookies and stuff. I love doing that. And then outside of the home, I occasionally do some theater, which is like my original plan when I was 8 years old was I was going to be an actress. And went to drama school and the whole thing. And so occasionally I go back to that when I have the time. Like, I think I was destined to do something creative with my life.
Yeah, for sure. Sure you were. Yes.
And I think one of the problems is not turning all of your hobbies and your passions into something that makes money, because as much as I love photography and baking, a little bit of that love has left since it's a business now. But I wouldn't trade what I do for anything. Yeah. It's such a great job. I get to work from home. I get to make my own hours, and it's I remember when I used to work in the corporate world, you just count down the days that you've been there. It's like, okay, I've made it to 2 years. And the other day I'm like, I've been doing this over 3 years now. You don't count the days anymore when you do what you love.
That's awesome.
But you still have to step away, with your loved ones. It's like, I love you, but I need to step away for a minute.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And so, yes, there's things that you can do to fill some of that time.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think we have to talk about maybe a bigger issue
Mm-hmm.
whenever it comes to feeling inspired and wanting to be inspired, because a lot of times we need to be inspired because we're feeling burnt out.
Yes.
And I think that's like the bigger issue at hand. And so I think whenever you can get to the root of that, I'm like, not a professional here, right? Not a professional. Have been doing this a long time. Is whenever I'm needing to be, inspired and feeling that, it's because I'm burnt out. And yes, you got to put your camera down, and yes, you got to go do something else, but you got to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that you have learned, recently, how important those things are for you. Right. So can you maybe share, like, how have you started putting boundaries in place? And that can be really hard.
It is extremely hard.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a very helpful person.
Mm-hmm.
So even if nothing's asked of me, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do to help this situation? So kind of having to, I started this year with my word being no. I have to start saying no to more things. Like I turned down a show that I was cast in. And I was like, I just can't do it because I was traveling to a conference in January and starting to be a bigger part of Pretty Focused and trying to start my blog. And I'm like, there's no way I can add 6 weeks of night rehearsals and all that. So I turned that down. It's really, I guess one of my problems is I think I have a bigger capacity than I actually do. And so when I stop and like actually look at what I'm doing and what's going to benefit me, but also keep in mind my mental health, like just, okay, well, how am I going to feel after if I take on all this extra work? Yeah. I'm going to be very burnt out. Yeah. So it's kind of just, it's taking a minute and stepping away and thinking about the options in front of you and picking what the best road is going to be for you. And then turning down those things that don't benefit you or are just, they could benefit, you know what I mean? Just what's the best road for you? Well, how much do you want to sleep tonight? Basically.
And it's like not necessarily, okay, so it is about saying no, but I like to use the phrase your best yes. Like, I like that. Be your best yes.
Yeah, I like that.
You're saying no to something because you're saying yes to something else, right? You're saying yes to your marriage. You're saying yes to your mental health. You're saying yes to your, growing your business, which affects, your future. And it just has such a bigger impact. So whenever you're saying no to your show, you were saying yes to so many other things, and so I think kind of flipping that and just being like, what is absolutely going to be your best yes, like in this season? And, especially working at home, you're like, I'm working at home. Like I do have freedom. I do have flexibility, but sometimes because of that, we are just like, I'm guilty. I'm like, yes, I work from home. I've got freedom and flexibility. But sometimes I like let all of those other things like go in front of the work and it gets a little chaotic at times. And so I kind of have to rein myself back in. But anyway.
Yeah. For a while for me, it was kind of like the TV, like my husband's not home. I can watch like the girly shows or like the Downton Abbey type shows. Yeah. And it's like, I have to learn I can't turn on the TV, no TV time during the day. So it's kind of, you do have to set boundaries even with yourself. Like, don't you turn on that TV. Like you've already watched Downton Abbey 20 times. You know, it's going to happen.
Stay focused. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And I think too, like I I heard somebody say at a workshop I went to this year is that whenever like you're online, when you're scrolling social media, on average, we go through 30 posts a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And so you also think, okay, I'm not going to watch TV, but you also, the phone and the constant access to everything. And it's like, no wonder you need to be inspired, because you're feeling burnt out because you are consuming so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the overwhelm is not just from, photographing each day, but also what else are you filling your mind with, right? Because what comes in, like what goes in comes out, right? And so what are you filling, your time with? And so 30 posts a minute is a lot of content to consume whenever you think about how often you sit there and scroll. Like I was telling you, I try to set the boundaries, the time, and it will kick me off of Facebook, and I'll just like, 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes. And here I am just scrolling. And I'm like, no wonder I'm feeling overwhelmed. No wonder I'm feeling burnt out. No wonder I'm feeling like I can't focus here on the creative side because of how much I just consumed, and my brain is trying to process all of it. And so boundaries, not just with activities, but you've got to have boundaries with the internet and the world, because we were not created to carry the weight and to process and to be involved in everybody's life. Like we were not designed to do that, but we are.
And social media has changed so much. And the majority of what you're seeing, like on Facebook, for example, is not even your friends and family anymore. It's ads. It's videos that it's like, there's sometimes I'm doom scrolling and then I'm like, what is the benefit of this? Why am I so hooked to this?
Right.
And that's what kind of snaps me out of it. And I just put the phone down. I'm like, I have to walk away.
Yep.
Because it is overwhelming. And I had somebody tell me once, like, the majority of what you see in the world is just negative things. So her advice to me was like, put positive things up around you. Like, so I have like a wall right in front of me that's like my little Van Gogh diamond art, or photos I've taken I'm proud of, my degrees, like little inspirational things. Cause they're like, you consume enough negative stuff. Like just put some happy stuff around you, like a wedding photo. And so that's another thing that gets me is like, there's so much negativity I find online, and social media is not what it used to be back in the MySpace days where you ranked your friends and put your favorite independent band on there. Yeah. So that kind of helps me take pause and just, okay, none of this anymore.
Yeah. I think, again, not a professional, but I think that's at the root of the burnout, and that's at the root of wanting to stay creative and yes, absolutely get some distance, go on a drive, like put the camera down, have boundaries. I read this, that boundaries without consequences are just suggestions. And I was like, oh, like if you don't it's like, if there's no, like if you're like, I have this boundary, right? But you never actually set the boundary, like with my stinking phone, right? I never actually put it down whenever the boundary is set. What's the point?
I know.
And so, anyway, so I was like, oh, that's really good, because I don't know how you would put like consequences up there, but it just made me think about the boundaries that I do set just a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess I'd never really thought of that either.
Yeah. So. And
you were talking about like going out and just kind of like, not necessarily traveling, but like just going out in the world. When you do put your camera down or get out of the kitchen or do whatever, this amazing thing happens, because then you start, not on purpose, but you do start to feel inspired
yes.
when you're out and about. Like when I was in Las Vegas at this conference, one of the panels I went to was about writing recipes. And she gave us a challenge that was that night to go out on the town and pick a place and think about a recipe based on that place. And I used to live in Las Vegas, so I'm like, well, I'm staying with my mother-in-law, so I don't know if that's going to work. But then I I was like, I opened my mind a little bit more to that concept because, that's very closed off thinking. Like, no, I can't do that. I lived here. I don't miss living here. But then when I started to think on the drive home, I thought about like Las Vegas is the place where I met my husband. And so I was like, well, where was the place that we met? We met at the Palms because we went to the movies there. I'm like, okay, Palms on Valentine's Day, our first date and the first time we met. And all of a sudden I was like, palmiers, like the little pastry, because my husband loves palmiers. And I was like, ooh, strawberry palmiers dipped in chocolate because Valentine's Day. It was just incredible how that inspiration, when I just stopped and opened my mind and actually thought about things on a drive, of course.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, inspiration like that. And I told my husband about that and he's like, oh, that sounds great. So that's something down the line I can work on. But I mean, it did get me thinking again. And then like, I do love to travel, and there's like lots of recipes that I would love to create here from what I've experienced in Europe and even just down the street, like from a new bakery. Like they have these awesome pecan sticky buns. And I'm like, I would love to make these at home, but I don't have the patience. So how can I do like some shortcuts to make it easier? So there's just, I guess that's another thing, just opening your mind and not waiting for perfection or lightning to really strike, just going out and looking around and seeing what kind of comes of what you do and what you see.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that, going out with intention and purpose to look, right? Like put your head up. Like, don't like, sometimes I walk with my head down and just looking at the ground in front of me. It's like, no, I keep telling myself, I'm like, Melody, lift your head. Your head. Walk with confidence, but just like look around you. And so I think too, sometimes we just get going in the zone and we forget to kind of look up and look around. And like you said, it just opened your mind, like it opened your eyes, opened your mind, being like, oh, and just how that recipe just flowed from that one experience. So I love that. Being creative and staying creative can have its challenges because you feel like every time you have to reinvent the wheel. Right. And so sometimes you have to reinvent the wheel, but you don't always have to do that either. And so I think I think remembering that and being okay with the repetition is a good thing.
Yes.
like sometimes lean into it.
Yes.
But make sure that you're taking time for yourself. Make sure you're resting. You should not be working 7 days a week. Stop that right now. If that is you, you should not be working at 1:00 in the morning. Stop that right now if you are doing that. And, so get some perspective, but also put some boundaries in place with other areas of your life. And so look for those things that are just absolutely sucking your time or sucking your creative joy, because that negativity that you talked about in the world is going to suck that out of you.
Yes.
But I think something too that this lights me up, and it might not light you up, right? But baking for other people and sharing with other people, I love doing. And I feel like that lights me up. And I think also like getting out in your community and serving somewhere. Like
definitely
get involved with your community somehow and like putting other people first and serving other people is a way to also help kind of fill your bucket and to help boost some of that creativity. Like, it's not just about getting out and going for a drive. Like, it's not just about like doing another creative project, right?
No.
There are so many other things that you can be doing that will help feed your soul and in turn help you in the work that you do.
Absolutely. I used to do like volunteer my photography time for like this challenge MS walk they would do every year. And I would go out and volunteer and like meet different people, meet different photographers. Even just my close friends who moved back from Germany last year, there's some weekends we'll go over there and just we'll make them brunch. Or like I made a cake a couple months ago for my husband's birthday, and seeing their 5-year-old take a bite of it and just fall back and be like, like doing stuff like that. Because I mean, my husband and I our family's not around. So like it's me making all these desserts and my husband trying, and my husband loves all my cooking. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
But to see like a 5-year-old who just eats like chicken fingers and stuff like that enjoy this cake that I created and looked terrible, but he loved it, was like just a great thing. And that fed my soul. And it's like, okay, yes, that's what I want to see. I needed that. I need other people's opinions and not just your family. But finding a way to do what you do and give back to the community is huge.
Yeah. Staying inspired is more than just about like creating a board on Pinterest with ideas. Yeah. Like, that's great. That is you should do that. You should do that. You should have ideas. You should have that creative, passion and that line of constant, I think that's important. I think that's a part of it, but it is just one very, very, very small part.
Yes.
One very small part.
And I mean, one thing you were talking about repetition and boredom. One of my favorite books that's like more of a reference book is, and we've talked about it all over Pretty Focus, is the Flavor Bible. Pulling that out and like I said, like I've shot so many no-bake recipes and layered recipes.
Yes, you have.
And because I sell exclusives, like those are the ones I know sell. So I will pull that book out and try to figure out different flavors I can do. They may not have a great keyword search, but if I can do something fun with the flavors, that also, and it works, that also lights me up and inspires me that I'm still in the right profession. Like, okay, this worked. That's amazing. Let's keep going. So even if like you're looking for inspiration in your work or reason to get back in the kitchen, like that's a great thing to do as well. Yeah.
Well, I think too, you like really leaned into those no-bake desserts. Like you weren't coming in being like, I'm going to be the no-bake dessert queen.
No, I wasn't.
You kind of found this niche. And so that's the repetition, right? Like of like, I know that this sells. I know that I can do well. I know all that, like, that is fantastic that you know that, and now you are kind of branching out and just finding, okay, well, what can I do within this? That's fantastic.
Yeah. There was a lot of frustration in the beginning because I did get bored. Layered no-bake desserts are not easy. And so once I found my groove, and now like I shoot them, like I have to shoot tonight and tomorrow. That's another layered one. It's like, now that I've gotten into that groove, it's like, okay, well, I can do that in like 2 hours. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to rest for like 5 or 6, but still.
Right. But you get to do other things.
Exactly.
During that time. You're not sitting waiting.
Oh, I hope not.
You get to do other things besides.
I'll go work on my diamond art.
Yeah, that's right. That's when you read. You work on your diamond art. You do all those other things. So yeah. So Alicia, I think this was a great conversation. You gave us a lot of like practical tips, but also kind of we talked about getting kind of to the root of the burnout. Like, because you can, like we said, have the Pinterest board. You can go on the drive. You can go on vacation. You can, put some distance and put your camera down. But there's also something to be said for like getting to the root of the burnout and why that is, and addressing that, and making sure that you have healthy boundaries, with people, have healthy boundaries with social media. Right?
Yes.
And I know I've talked about that so many times, but apparently it's a lesson that I am still learning, and I'll go through stints, but it's like, it makes a big difference to how I process, what happens within the four walls of my home. And that is my priority, like over everything, right?
Yes.
It's like
absolutely.
It's like my family and everything. And so anyway, I'm just really big on that. But and getting out and serving, and then doing something for other people too. Like those are really great things. I think that when you can figure out like the rhythms and the balance of all of it.
Yes.
Good luck. Let us know if you do.
And even if you're like an introvert like I am, or shy, you don't have to go out and like do big things. Simply smiling at someone, telling somebody, like, I notice people's fingernails. I love nail art. So like if I'm at the grocery store, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I love your nails. And they're like, oh, thank you. That's all you have to do, because you just complimented something that they are proud of, and they don't get that all the time.
Yeah.
So just smiling at someone, saying hi, asking about their day. You don't have to do anything big, but that serves others and like, serves your soul.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It doesn't have to be signing up for some big organization. It can be, the lady across the hall in your apartment complex, or the neighbor down the street, or the lady at the grocery store with the nice nails, right?
Yeah,
or, I think those things, I think just like kind of just basically thinking outside of yourself, like keep your eyes up and out, and just observing and looking at the world around you, whether it's going to the restaurant and like being inspired by what you eat, or just being inspired by the people around you. Yeah.
Or even, supporting local businesses. Like I know there's a local coffee shop that they've gone through, not ups and downs, but just locations closing. And she just opened up a new location, like her second one. So I went and like just seeing her and paying her compliments and talking about that. Like you can do little things like that. I'd rather go to her coffee. It's a woman-owned coffee house where she roasts her own beans. Like I'm going to support that over Starbucks. I'm sorry. And that makes me feel better. Like, and you're complimenting somebody and you're supporting another small business, because we're all in small businesses too.
Yeah. Yeah. We feel it. We know exactly. So I love that. That's really, really great. So going out and supporting other people in their business is good too, is life-giving. And I think that this there's so many great things from this conversation. And whenever I was thinking about like, okay, how to be inspired, how do you stay inspired? It's like, man, that's actually a really big, deep, broad question with so many different facets to it.
And so it was surprising, because we ended up with support local businesses, and like, does that really inspire? Is that just a message? Like, no, it does inspire, because I also see her, she's early mid-30s, and she's done all of this. Wow. And it makes you think there are amazing people out in the world doing amazing things and supporting themselves and their families. And like, that's helps me. Okay, well, I got to get back in the kitchen, because I got a family to support, and I've got dreams and things I got to do. That also keeps me inspired and going. So, I guess that kind of takes it full circle.
It does. It sure does. I think that's where community is, like, getting out in your community, but then having community and is so important, is because it doesn't just keep you like inspired creativity. Creatively. There we go. It doesn't just keep you inspired creatively, but just with life.
Yes.
And business, because that's the other part of it. It's not just the photography part, it's the business side of things. And so we want to keep going there too.
Exactly.
And we want to be inspired there too. It's not just about the photography. So
right.
That's awesome. I love that. Full circle. Thank you for bringing it home for us. I love that.
I was like, how can we tie this?
That's awesome. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. It was so great just to kind of hear some things that you do and just talk this through with you, because sometimes, we come into these and we've got a plan, and, you had a great list of all the things to talk about. And then sometimes it just takes talking it out with people to realize how we can actually do the things, and so again, why community and other people in your corner is so important. So thank you for being here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Pretty Focus podcast. We'll see you back here for the next one.